Hey, good afternoon. We're here at Bio-Based Solutions and talking with Mac today. Mac, tell us a little bit about it.
Hey, how are you? We've got a little bit of several different options to pick from in here. We carry a pallet wood paneling, which is something that we make here in house. It's a byproduct from some of our pallet operations, so we we are a pallet company as well, not just a building supply company. But
Okay.
this is one of the items that we get from the pallet side. It is a recycled pallet board. This pallet has had many lives. There's been different kinds of products put on these things. They're recycled. They've got all the nail holes and marks, so they look real similar to a barnwood product.
Okay, yeah. And we took a look at that machine that actually cuts these things off.
Yes.
So you just put the pallet down on top of that machine and push it through.
Yes.
And it cuts those nails off, so it almost looks like there's still a nail in there.
Yeah, there is still a nail in there. It's just cut smooth to the surface.
Yeah.
So that you can still have that really unique rustic look.
Mm-hmm.
But yet it's it's smooth.
Gotcha.
Gives you a little bit different product than just barnwood. It's a similar product, but it's a whole lot more cost effective.
Okay.
It's nowhere as expensive as buying real barnwood.
Gotcha.
But you can get that same look for very cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It's really really cheap cost per square foot compared to a barnwood product.
Okay.
We put it up. There's multiple ways you can put it up. Some people put it up on a 45. Some people put it up horizontal. Some people put it up vertical. You can put it up as it comes, really rough. It would be kind of splintery, but it would look like a whole barn inside.
Mm-hmm.
You can sand it and clean it up, true it up. This particular wall, we trued it up on a joiner to get a straight edge.
Okay.
And then we trued up the other side on a table saw.
Okay.
Squared the ends with a miter saw.
Gotcha.
And then hand sanded it with a DA sander or a palm sander before we installed it. And then we just used brad nails, just a little trim brad nail, and it's kind of disguised the side of each nail head.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so you can hide them like right there,
So
you don't even notice it.
Yeah, so all of them are fast in there. It just blends in with that,
blends right in.
line of nails there.
No puttying.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
So for a contractor or somebody doing these rustic walls, restaurants, man caves, whatever, this is fast.
Okay.
In and out.
Gotcha.
This is a good way to do it. But you can take this product and put it up like it is, just rough, and not true it up, and it's just going to have bigger gaps and stuff in between it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like that. Some people want to true it up and have a tighter gap, just depending on the customer.
Okay.
If you want to have a larger gap, most people would paint the wall black or a dark color. Just get some cheap dark paint, paint it, then put it up, so you don't see a white or blue back between it, whatever the wall was before.
Right, so it wouldn't need to be pretty, just enough to make it dark in there.
Dark.
And,
Or you could use tar paper. It doesn't matter. Most people just use paint.
Okay.
But that makes it that kind of disguises your cracks and stuff.
Good deal, man.
And then for finish, we sanded it one time before we put it up with like a 180 grit, 120 grit. Doesn't
Okay, it's pretty kind of rough.
Yeah,
Kind of
just
make
to
gray
take
kind
the
of stuff.
spikes off of it.
Yeah.
And when we put it up, I'll show you some of our finishes in a second. We put it up, and then this has no stain. This is just a satin polyurethane.
Oh, so it's just like a clear coat then.
Because it's already old looking, so it's going to have that amber look anyway. Since
Very
it is
nice.
an old board, it's not a barn board, but this thing's been out in the rain. It's been pushed across a factory floor. It's who knows what all it's done. But
Is that oil based, that stain?
yeah,
Or that
we have a water
clear coat?
base.
Yeah.
Oil base, in my opinion, is a prettier finish.
Right.
I like oil base because it gives it a really rustic look. Water base is a clear finish. It doesn't have the amber. If you wanted to put it up and it would look exactly like it was, you would use the water base. It has a clear finish.
Right.
It's not as durable though.
Okay.
It says it is, but it's not.
Right.
Oil base is a lot more durable and it has more of a rustic ambery look, like an oil finish.
Yeah, I would agree too, because the oil, it just
It'll
yellows.
darken it more.
It yellows over time. It darkens it.
And if
the
you had
oil.
to say a darker house or something, or a smaller room, I
Mhm.
probably would use the water base, because it's not going to darken it as much,
Mm,
because it's already going to appear, more of a dark color.
gotcha.
This product comes in 4-inch and 6-inch. 6-inch is what you're seeing here. It's just a random mix on the pallet, just kind of how it comes off the assembly line.
Okay.
Some people blend the 4s in, and they'll put them in different areas, like we run the 4s underneath.
Okay.
Some people use the 4s for your trim. Cut them down on table saw and make your trim boards out of them.
Just do a simple butt joint right there.
Yeah, it's rustic. You don't need a fancy joint.
Right.
I mean, if you can, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to fit the part.
Absolutely.
So it just depends on. There's a lot of things you can do with it.
Okay. Good deal.
I'll show you the finishes we've got. What we used is an Old Masters.
And Old Masters, we're at on the scale as far as like durability and in
This
comparison.
is one of the best.
One of the best.
Yeah. This Varathane, we carry 2 options. Home Depot carries Varathane. Lowe's carries Minwax. These are kind of equal part products. Varathane says they're better than Minwax. They're kind of the same.
Right.
It's
Okay.
fine for just small projects.
Mm-hmm.
This is what your professionals want.
Okay.
This is Old Masters is a top of the line product on the same scale as a General Finish, something like that. Armor Seal, something like that.
Okay.
We keep it in poly. We keep it in spar. Spar is an exterior for like a boat or a post on your porch or a
Okay.
door. Poly's for inside. We keep it in a lacquer.
So when you say spar, how do you know the difference between the two?
Spar varnish. It's
So it
like
says it
like
on top
a
of
like
it
an old
right
plywood
there, right?
boat or a canoe or something. Spar has a little flexibility in it. It's not rubbery, but it is. It'll allow it to expand and contract a little without cracking.
Yeah.
Where polyurethane will crack. If you've ever seen a guitar that has a real pretty top and then it's
Yeah.
been used outside a bunch, it'll have hairline
Yeah.
cracks all in it like spider webs. That's because it's a poly finish.
Okay.
It didn't want to expand and contract, so it cracked.
It's good to know.
The sand colors, like this is a water-based exterior. This is a water-based interior. Same thing. Poly oil, spar oil, interior water, exterior water.
Okay.
So you got an option for both. We can get them in gallons and stuff too. That's
Nice.
Yeah, for a project like that, if it was a counter that big, you probably just want to get a gallon.
Yeah.
We did 1 coat and then lightly sanded it with like a little sanding pad. Because the first coat you put on, it doesn't matter how smooth you get it.
Yeah.
After it goes on, the grain fibers will stand up and they feel like you never even sanded it.
Yeah.
So then you come back and you just barely scuff them and cut them right off with a fine grit.
Okay, so that fine grit right there, so that'd be more of like a 220
Yeah, something
equivalent
like that.
or something like
Yeah.
that. Whereas your
And you're not
medium,
going crazy sanding it. I mean, like
Yeah.
that whole counter shouldn't take more than 15 or 20 minutes. To
just a
sand the
light
whole
brushing
thing.
or
Yeah.
something like that.
Now, the first sanding, you're looking at a few hours.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
sanding.
Mhm.
But the in between coat, you're just scuffing it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're gonna come back and put another coat on. And every board's different. You may be done in 2 coats, and the second coat may still have a little bit of roughness to it. The slicker you get it, the easier it'll be to keep it clean, keep dust off of it and stuff like that. It won't stick to it.
Okay.
So you may get by with 2 coats. It may take 3. Every wall's different.
Right.
Some
Right.
take 4.
Yeah. If the wood's dry enough, it's going to drink it
just
up.
depends. The older the wood is, the more it's going to suck it up.
Yeah.
But that's that's a good option if you want to use them for a counter. We've had people use them for a countertop, and then they use this glaze coat.
Oh, is that like the
That's
epoxy equivalent?
Yeah,
or something
it's
like
like an
that?
epoxy. 1 coat
Yeah.
is equivalent to 70 coats of poly, so it's like a
Oh
1/4 inch
my
thick.
gosh.
That's where it looks like glass. Some people call it liquid glass. That's another brand.
I'm gonna play with that here sometime soon.
But we carry that too, and that's if you just want to use it for a countertop,
Very cool, man.
or a coffee tabletop, or
All right.
any of that stuff.
Good deal.
We carry the stains and stuff too if you did want to stain them.
Okay.
Most
Sounds
people
good.
don't. Most people just mix them. You'll have different kinds of wood: poplar, pine, oak. Sometimes other various woods in there: sycamore, birch, beech. and you just take your darks, your lights, and your mediums and put them in a pile and do just like hardwood floor. Pull one out of each pile as you go. That way you don't have a dark wall that transitions to a light wall unless that's what you want.
Unless that's what you're wanting to get into.
And most people will do it like a hardwood floor. They'll just kind of randomly pick them and go that way.
Cool, man.
So that we've got several options in that though. We've also got paneling. So beadboard, shiplap, V-groove, different options. And primed, you can get it in. You can get it in clear. Like if you're going to prime, if you're going to paint it, go with this. If you're going to stain it or clear coat it, you go with these options.
Okay, and so this right here, you probably wouldn't even have to sand.
Not much.
I mean, I feel some like undulations in there that I would probably want to sand off in the first place.
Yeah.
But only just to open it up to that stain that you'd be putting on.
Or if you're not staining it, if you're doing it like a lot of these old houses, they just put poly on it and go. So put your first poly on it and then come back and scuff it because it's already out of the planer. It's pretty smooth.
Yeah. Sure.
A lot of people will do that.
And this one, you wouldn't have to paint the wall in the back or put that tar paper.
Yeah, because this is a tongue and groove.
Yeah.
It'll actually, I don't know what sample it, but it's actual tongue and groove. There's no light going through. It snaps into the other one.
Okay.
Where the pallet boards are just like a plank, they just bud up.
Right.
So if that shrunk a little, you still wouldn't see through it.
Gotcha.
Some people call it a nickel gap. That's what this is.
And just stick a nickel in there?
Yep. Stick a nickel on each end and then nail it.
Do I have a nickel?
That one's a little wider than a nickel. I think I used a Sacagawea dollar on that.
Sacagawea? No kidding. Yeah, nickel's pretty loose up in there.
That's a gold dollar gap board.
Alright.
I mean, you can do whatever you want. Pocket knife gap, it doesn't matter.
There you go.
Whatever
you're comfortable with. That's right. As long as it matches up. Like
Preferably, you make the gap just a little wide because if you get it too close, you're going to have paint gob in there when you come back to paint. I messed up on my house doing that. I used a penny and I had to come back in and
scrape it out.
Single one with a
no.
Yeah.
So what'd you do? You after you scraped through it, did you just use
come back and didn't brush so much paint on?
Yeah. Did you just slightly?
Roller and just
okay.
Whereas if it was like this, you could have come with a brush and just painted it and been done.
Okay.
But
now notice right here what you got going on is it's important to have these that are lining up here, and whenever you put the trim on, you don't have to make sure that these fit exactly.
Just like hardwood floor. You use your shoe molding the same way. If you pop your shoe molding off your hardwood floor, it's going to be kind of however it runs as long as it's the shoe mold will cover it.
Yep, that's right.
So that's the way that is. As long as your trim will cover it.
Yep.
You don't want it too tight either, because if it expanded or contracted a little as the house heats and cools, it'll buckle. So
crack or something like that.
Just a little bit, yes.
Yeah, that's good information.
Just like doing vinyl siding or flooring.
Good deal. So do you have any other examples?
I mean, we've got some other barnwood options. Stuff we have to order, which is these are like pre-finished barnwoods. These are
okay. So you don't have to do anything to these.
Yeah, they're just ready. You just nail them up and do it.
Huh.
Now these are really expensive. They're a nice product though, especially if you're doing a one-day job.
When you mean one-day job, is it just like these
like
things? These
right
things
here,
you don't have to do anything to it. It's just
exactly.
get it and install
so you get all this. You got to true it all up, get it ready.
Yeah.
Put it up, nail it up in the customer's house. Come back, clear it. Come back, sand it. Come back, clear it again.
Right.
Come back, sand it. So you're making multiple trips.
Right.
If you're just doing a remodel for somebody, you could be working on another project at the same time at the same place. But if you're just doing one job somewhere, this right here is a whole lot more money. But at the same time, you come in, nail it up, get paid.
So
you're done.
So what I'm hearing right now, Mac, is in the amount of time that it takes to do all the work on these pallet boards, that'd probably be good for a DIY project for like a weekend or something.
Yes.
If you want to do that yourself, but as far as having a professional come in and do it, it might be more cost effective or just cost as much to do this without all the prep work and finish work involved in that. So that might be of equal value if we were to take a look at it.
And it depends on what your look is that you're wanting. But yeah, DIY, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
Guy can work on it every evening when he gets home from work.
Mm-hmm.
Knock it out in a week. He's done. You know, from start to finish. And putting it up and installing's fast, but the problem is just the waiting for the finishes to cure.
Mm-hmm.
Just like doing a hardwood floor. You just it takes time for it to dry.
Right. Got to get about 24 or 48 hours.
Yeah, you
like
can't
that.
do the second coat till it's dry.
Mm-hmm.
So, where this right here, there's no coating. It's just, you don't have to paint the wall black or anything because it's got the grooves in it. Where it's like a tongue and groove or a nickel gap, so it hides the gap.
Mm-hmm.
So you just come in, nail them up, come back, put your trim on, the wall's done.
Okay, gotcha.
But
Looks
that's
like
special order.
the trim are the separate pieces there as well, so you'd have to order those separately.
Yeah, and you can get it in 6-inch or 8-inch. And you can get, in any size, you can get these 3 color options.
Mm-hmm.
So, gray, white.
Okay. Gotcha. And what about this stuff right here, this rough cut
This is just
stuff?
a rough cut that we sell. We cut this in-house. It's just local lumber. It's green. It may have been standing timber 2 days ago. So this is for building sheds and buildings, and you would not use that in your house.
You wouldn't use it in your house? Not even for like an application like this right here?
No, it's going to dry and shrink. And,
okay.
You may put it up and it's tight.
Yeah.
6 months later, you can put your thumb through it.
Yeah,
so
got you about a half inch
It's going
gap.
to shrink. I mean, it's
right.
But for building barns and pole sheds and farm buildings and siding on a barn, it's fine for all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
We sell a lot of it for that.
Okay.
But that's what you're going to see that used as.
Yeah. So
you
let's
could
say
use it in a house, but I don't.
Okay, let's say I did want that kind of thickness for whatever project, and I did want to put it in my house. What would you suggest then?
Air drying it.
Air drying it?
Yeah.
So if I were to come to Bio-Based Solutions and say, hey, I would like a 1x6 just like that to put it in my house, you would say, well, this is the product that you need to go with. And what would that be?
If you were wanting that and you had time, you would buy this and you would stick it up. So you'd lay a layer of boards down and you put a stick between it.
Okay.
So air can go between these boards and dry it out.
Okay.
But I think at least 6 months.
Right. So if I wanted something like that.
If it was this thick, it's going to take. The rule of thumb's a year per inch.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, it'd take 2 years for that to be dry.
Mm-hmm.
Be dry to the touch, but when you kick the air on it, heat and air is going to cool. It's going to pull more moisture out and shrink.
Right. And the differences between, you know, this stuff right here and something that you would get maybe that's already ready to be framed, like studs or something that has that.
Kiln dried.
The kiln dried, right. And so the kiln dried is just, again, where you're drying it out. And that is where maybe you dry these out and then put them through the planer so it has those widths.
You could do that.
Because this right here is a true 4-inch by 2-inch right here, and true meaning like when you measure it, it'll measure 2 inches by 4 inches. But when you get to maybe your studs or something, they'll measure 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches.
Yeah, these are going to vary just a little because it's rough.
Right.
It's just rough lumber, and you can't build a house for this.
Right.
Building code will not let you because it's not been treated. It's not inspected. The American Lumber Society, so it's it's fine for buildings and fixing old houses and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of that to be done.
All right, so well, to wrap this thing up here, Mac, it sounds like if we were to go with any of this, some of the things that we're looking at getting would be, you know, the pallet wood or some of this stuff right here, and then on top of the materials, we would need those brad nails that we talked about earlier, the stain, probably some sandpaper or sander or some tack, what was that called? Tack cloth. Tack cloth. Tack cloth. Yeah, cheesecloth to put the stain on. Is there anything else that we should be considering?
Brushes and supplies. We've got brushes and we have paints if you want to paint. If you need the black paint for the back.
Yeah, for the primed stuff.
Yeah, we've got some black paint we keep just for that.
Oh, cool.
Latex. We keep good brushes. We keep expensive brushes. We keep medium grade brushes. We keep Worcester brushes. These are what you use for oil-based polys. They do a good job, real good job. Clean the brush and keep it for years.
Very neat.
But yeah, we keep paint and supplies too. Caulks, tapes, and sandpapers, and of course, you know, of course, the stains and finishes.
Mm-hmm.
Too.
Okay, good deal. Is there anything that we haven't talked about yet here, Mac?
I don't think so. I mean, we've got a lot of other items, but as far as
Yeah, as far as
this
what we're
stuff,
talking about, yeah. Yeah, you guys do a lot around here. I mean, they take a lot just to go around here and just cover everything. But I appreciate your time, Mac, and for speaking with us. But if you guys need anything, come over here to BuyBuddy Solutions. Talk to my guy Mac over here. He's got everything for you. Alan's at the front desk, and Will, I think, is over there too. Ain't
he is. He is. We'll get the invoice ready.
There you go. But thanks for joining us, guys. I hope this opens some lights into your next shiplap project or just working with pallet wood overall. Again, the hardnesses are going to affect your sandpaper. It's going to affect your blades. So maybe, Matt could hook you up with a blade if you need to do it. He's got all of it, guys. So thanks for joining us today. And if there's anything you need help with, give me a call or give Mac a call up here at BioBase. But appreciate it. Have a good day.